morning, it's Scott Cullen. I'm the editor-in-chief of the Cannata Report. It's Friday morning. It's time for Fridays with Frank. And here he is, Frank Cannata. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm actually, the truth of the matter is I'm barely alive. I've been on the road all week, and but I'm ready to go, Scott. Epson, most impressive meeting I've gone to in a long time. And I say that from a standpoint, not only, the format and deliveries, because all of them have done very professionally. I'm talking about the content. Epson rolled out a very impressive line of inkjet MFPs, wide format, and just a complete line, which is what has been missing. I wasn't sensitive to that enough early on when I was talking to dealers prior to the pandemic about, bringing Epson on, and they weren't too enthusiastic about the line. And in a couple of conversations we had at the Epson meeting, I asked our dear friend Tim Reiniger from Kelly in North Carolina. I said, Tim, you've been doing this a while. What did you think? He said, well, you have to understand what they just showed us is far different with what they've had to offer. So in other words, it wasn't as full. To be competitive, you really have to have a full line. The other thing that you have to look at, and another dealer pointed it out to me, that he was there, took on the line. He said, but to be candid, I don't know how successful we're going to be with it. I said, well, that's kind of interesting. You took something on. Yeah, he says, I can see the future of inkjet. I want to learn more about it. This is the best way to do it. But again, he didn't want to, I'm not going to mention the lines he had. He has two other major lines, and this has now become a third. He says, I'm certainly not going to trade off any of my MIF to sell these products because it's not the right thing to do for us. So we had a bit of a discussion. I said, I'll give you a strategy that I think will make a lot of sense, because I believe in what Epson is providing. It answers a lot of the questions, particularly for this post-pandemic period. Number one, it is clean, less energy, and less expensive to operate. You get a lesser cost on service. Now, with those elements, tell me why that shouldn't work. I think that the approach should be, I'm going to take, and again, I don't want anybody to think that if they want to take the line and go at it, gangbusters, be my guest. I'm just representing a strategy that I think makes sense for dealers. Sell with the approach of net new customers. In other words, when you know that you've been losing a school contract to one of your competitors, whoever they happen to be, whether it's HP, Kyocera, whomever, and you never got it. So go at them with Epson. You've got an edge. You've got a hell of a story to tell. And I just think you can't lose. So now you're attacking, you're using Epson as a sword to attack the competitor. That's where I believe it really is. What the second thing that I liked about the Epson meeting is that Mark Matthews, if people not aware, he's the VP of North America Commercial Sales and Marketing for Epson America. Mark at one point was president of Toshiba. Prior to that, he was VP of marketing when Rick Taylor was president. This guy knows the dealer game, understands it perfectly, and knows what they like and what they don't like. And he put on a meeting that was perfect. It was like doing short bursts of presentations so that no one felt that they were locked in at their seat for 5 or 6 hours. It was like bing, 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 break, bing, 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 lunch. And Joe Contreras, who is his sales manager, national sales manager, is cut from the same bolt of cloth and worked with Mark at Toshiba. And we knew Joe when he was product manager for Toshiba. So he too has a long history. And it's my honest opinion, they're going to be successful in building a distribution at a time when that should not happen. I just have faith in these guys that they know what they're doing. Based upon what we saw, now bear in mind, as everybody knows, we're not engineers. It certainly hit all the high notes in terms of product specs. They got the full line. We know the pricing will be aggressive. We know it'll be profitable if they're able to win some deals. And again, I think it's a hell of a story to tell. I hope that makes some sense to our audience, because if there's any value that we can relate, it's our ability to go to these meetings and let you know what's there. So if for no other reason, just to suit your own, get your answers to your own questions, reach out to Mark, reach out to Joe, and whatever questions you have, I'm sure they'll be happy to answer. I wish you all the luck in the world, because this is just one of the many answers that dealers have to deal with the tough times that are ahead.